Hi guys, welcome back to another video where I tell you about some fascinating features to do with our Land Rover Freelander 2 and Skoda Yeti. And in this video we're going to be talking about a leak that could actually be a feature, and if you're forgetful like me, there's a cool trick that you can do with the key, and on top of that I tell you how to keep your drink cool on a hot day. So let's get into it, shall we? If, like Alana and myself, you went shopping for your Skoda Yeti second hand and you did the due diligence of checking the MOT history before you went and looked at cars, you might have noticed quite a common theme, and that common theme is whether it be the near side front, offside rear, has light misting of oil on the MOT reports on pretty much most Skoda Yetis. And you might even have owned your Skoda Yeti from new, and then out of the blue in an MOT report, you get an advisory for that. Well, should you be alarmed? Well, the answer to that question is yes and no, really. There's two trains of thoughts and two ways of looking at it. One being that the suspension is knackered, old, kaput, bin fodder. It's no good whatsoever. It's leaking all its fluids out, and basically the oil that should be helping the shock absorber work is actually becoming anti-corrosion properties for the rest of your car as it works downstream. Well, the other way of looking at it is that it could actually be a feature of the car. And you might think, well, that's a bit bonkers, isn't it? A leaking shock being a feature. Well, you see, the idea behind the shock absorber is that the O-rings allow a very fine amount of oil to actually leak past the oil seals. And the whole reason for that is it keeps the oil seals all nicely lubricated, all nicely fresh. This in turn extends the life of the shock absorber so it lasts longer, because when you think about it, if they're not kept fresh, that shock absorber, once they go brittle and start having bits ping off them, the oil is going to come out of them pretty rapidly. So it's a cool little feature to help prolong the life of your shock absorbers. So the next time that you put your car in for an MOT, or even for a servicing, and the garage technician or MOT report turns around and says that you have a light misting on your shock absorber, it might be worth double checking that it is actually leaking first. What you don't want to end up doing is throwing out a perfectly good shock absorber for a new one when the one on the car is perfectly fine anyway. So yeah, I just thought that was a nice little feature that not many people actually know about. Oh man, would you Adam and Eve it? I'm such a clumsy klutz. I've only gone and left the driver's window undone and the back window undone as I've parked up my car. Now I've got to get back into it, put the key in the ignition, turn the ignition on, do up the windows, turn the ignition off and take the key out so I can then lock my car. If only there was an easier way. Well, lucky for you, over dramatic version of myself, there is a way of closing the windows without having to get back in the car. Just simply get your key, press and hold the lock button, keep it held, and as you can see, all the windows do themselves back up again. Oh, it's boiling out here. It's like 35 degrees Celsius. I'm melting. I'm not looking forward to getting inside that car, having to put the key in the ignition, turn the ignition on, to be able to drop each one of the windows one by one. If only there was a fascinating feature for that. Well, would you believe, over dramatic version of myself, there is a way. Just simply press and hold the unlock button or your key fob as you're approaching the car, and all your windows will drop simultaneously. That way it'll get rid of all that boiling hot air inside the car in double quick time. We all know how lovely and cold the air conditioning system of a Skoda can keep you inside the cabin.
This is amazing. Not a dribble. I am actually quite surprised.
But what happens if you've got a bottle of pop or a bottle of water and you want to keep that cold on your drive ahead? Well, Skoda have got you covered on that front. Just simply open the glove box. Oh, what's that dashing picture of Alana doing in the glove box? Let me just put her there. Get your bottle of water, like I was saying, put it in the glove box. You could get 2 or 3, in fact. Open this little vent, and that will blow lovely, cold, icy air on your drinks within the glove box, keeping them nice and cool for your drive ahead. With these fascinating features, I do actually check to make sure they're real and they actually work on the car before putting them into a video. But if you'll forgive me for this next one for not actually checking its integrity, that would be much appreciated. Well, that is unless someone owns an airstrip, a racetrack, or is rich enough to get me and Alana to Germany to check it out. Anyway, apparently, if you go over 90 miles an hour in a Skoda Yeti and your lights are set to the auto position and it's daytime, the lights will automatically come on. Apparently. I'll leave you to decide if that one's true or not, and you can let me know down in the comment section. So there's a few fascinating features of the Skoda Yeti. If you enjoyed this video, it'd be nice if you can click the like button. If you have any fascinating features of your own to do with the Skoda Yeti, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Other than that, all that's left for me to say is if you want to see another video like this, click over here. If you want to subscribe to the channel, click over here. Thanks everyone.